Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Code Realize, Guardian of Rebirth. And we are still on St Germain's story. We got that bad ending last time on purpose. This time we are going to do the correct thing. And we have to don't hesitate, which I actually did a couple seconds ago, but I had to re-record this, so it's highlighted because I'm re-recording again. Then I slowly open my mouth. Kill me. What are you talking about, St Germain?
Miss Cardia.
I smile, clutching at my chest. I'm probably not smiling right, but still, I try my best to present him with some semblance of a smile. I was never alive, so whatever you're doing, it's not killing me. Yes, that was the answer that has always been in my heart. The answer is my empty body. You heard from Omnibus, didn't you? You saw that in the underground facility. Father was not able to create a perfect form of life. I don't have a heart or emotions. I'm just a doll pretending to live. That's why. My voice trembles. But in the end, this is the only thing I can think to do that would lessen his pain. You don't need to hesitate or suffer over this. You're not killing a person. You're simply breaking a non-living doll. It wouldn't be a crime. Saying this out loud actually makes me feel exhilarated. St Germain just stares at my smile in amazement.
Why?
Huh?
Why are you looking at me that way? Your life is about to be ended by my hands. How are you able to smile like that when faced with certain death?
Why, he asks. There's only one answer to that. Because it will save you. You won't need to suffer any longer. If sacrificing this pathetic imitation of life will bring an end to St Germain's suffering.
Aren't you frightened?
St Germain, there is a hint of anger in his eyes.
If my blade pierces you, you will never wake again. You will never laugh, or cry, or care for anyone else. That's right. You'll never carry on a conversation with Lupin and the others over tea after meals.
Stop!
Or look at the changing scenery of the city as we walk through it together.
Don't remind me.
Or laugh alongside us, spending time together. None of it.
Stop! I cover my ears and shake my head. I was trying so hard not to think about any of this. Why would you say these things to me? Why now? I wanted to end my life with a smile. Telling me this, it just makes me fear death.
It's natural to be frightened. At least, I'm afraid to kill you. I'm afraid to lose you.
This is no good. I can no longer hold in my weakness. St Germain sees me at a loss for words and slowly begins to speak.
Don't you feel that way too?
I'm scared. Of death. Of not being able to see or smile anymore. Of course I'm afraid. Once the words begin pouring out, I can no longer stop them. I'm not even human. I'm a monster, but still, I don't want to die. I'm causing such a scene, even though I know that my cries will only make St Germain suffer further. I want to live with you. St Germain holds his blade up once more, with a smile. Man, sometimes he almost seems sadistic, you know. He only wants to kill her when she doesn't want to die. With his peaceful smile, he slowly raises the blade higher. I hear the blade whisper through the air. The blade, reflecting the moonlight, stops directly in front of my eyes. St Germain. If he had continued his swing, he would have been released from his torment. I look up, dumbfounded, as St Germain lowers his sword.
Kill you. Me kill you with this blade. There's no way I could do that.
But
So what if you're a doll? So what if you're a monster?
He puts the blade away, his voice trembling, and extends his hand to me. Then he forcibly grabs my arm and rips away my glove. Oh, I don't like this. But what are you doing? St. Germain doesn't reply. He just gently presses my cursed hand against his face. No! White smoke begins to rise instantly, and I hear the sound of burning flesh. What are you doing? St. Germain, let me go.
I won't.
I desperately try to pull my hand away, but he won't release me. Stop your pretty face. Please, let go. My voice sounds like a scream. I can feel the sensation of a loved one's life burning away against my skin, but St. Germain lovingly rests his cheek against my poison-filled hand.
I am a monster, an immortal monster. I failed to die long ago, and now wander the present world as a corpse. That's why your poison means nothing to me.
That doesn't... My words come to a stop. I finally realize that St. Germain isn't smiling.
It's all right, Miss Cardia, but don't be afraid to touch me. I alone can accept your touch.
Oh, that is one way she gets to touch somebody. St. Germain is crying. He's looking straight at me, weeping with an eternal sadness.
We are the same. If you aren't alive, then neither am I. If your life isn't worth anything, then neither is mine. So please, don't say such sad things.
These are genuine words, straight from St. Germain's heart, unimaginable from his usual demeanor. The warmth of pressing his skin directly against mine tells me that he's speaking nothing but the truth.
Having come this far, I finally realize why I suffer so. I love you. No matter what happens, no matter how great a crime I must commit, I want you to live and to smile.
But then you won't...
Who said you have any say in this?
St. Germain grips my hand tighter. Then he smiles more kindly than ever before.
Your hand, when touched directly, is so soft and warm. Now, in this moment, there is nothing more important than that fact.
St. Germain's smile is unlike anything I've seen before.
Nobody else can do this. Not Lupin, nor Impy, nor anyone else. This privilege is mine alone. I'm the only one in the world who can know this warmth.
He gently releases my hand, looking reluctant. Then, at the same time, the horrible burn on his face begins to heal at an almost alarming rate. The skin on the side of his face had been charred black, but it returns to perfection, as if time is running backwards. Your wounds healed. It's as if I'd never touched him, but the sensation still remains in my hand. I look down at my still trembling hand as St. Germain narrows his eyes slightly and looks at me.
Yes, as you can see, I told you I was a monster, didn't I?
You're not a monster. You shouldn't say that.
I could say the same of you.
Oh. We both smile at one another. St. Germain's smiling face is just as beautiful as it had ever been. I stare intently at his face.
Oh, what's the matter? Did my face not fully heal?
No, it's not that. It's just, your smile just now looked so natural.
That's probably because you helped me take my mask off.
St. Germain smiles joyfully, then looks straight at me.
Thanks to you, I know what I have to do, Miss Cardia.
What you have to do?
Yes, I'm prepared to fight against fate.
St. Germain stares into the darkness beyond the bridge and squints as if trying to find something.
13 apostles under Omnibus, including myself. If I don't kill you, then Omnibus will likely send a new assassin after you.
Right. How long will I be able to fight against a colossal opponent that has been controlling history itself? I remember Guinevere. If she were to attack again, there is no guarantee that I could get away safely.
Don't look at me like that. I'll defeat them all.
What?
We are immortal, but that doesn't mean that we can't be killed. 100 times, 1,000 times, or even more. If we die enough times, even we will face a true death. I will slaughter the other 12 apostles, then defeat Omnibus.
St. Germain smiles, as if what he said was completely normal.
So, until I've defeated them all, we'll have to remain apart for a while.
No! But I hastily raise my voice to raise the protest that crosses my mind. Wait, St. Germain, you say you're going to defeat the apostles. But if you disobey Omnibus, won't she take away our immortality?
That's true. Even if my immortality is revoked, my regenerative abilities will remain for some time. But that will disappear after a while. My body will collapse, and I will eventually die.
Then, there is no way that you can defeat so many immortal beings like that. If you're going to fight, at least you can ask Lupin and the others to help you.
I can't do that. I don't want to involve them in murder. They are, after all, my precious friends. And if any of them were to die, there would be no saving them. I'm the only one who can counter them, having the same ability.
As I tried to continue my protest, he raises his index finger.
Even if Omnibus does take away my immortality, there is still some time until I die. Miss Cardia, I want to use all that remaining time to save you.
I won't let you.
It's nothing special. It's the same as with any living person.
St. Germain smiles kindly, then strokes my hair soothingly.
All people use the time they have until death for themselves, or the people they care about. I have lived for so long, and now I'm finally able to live like a normal person.
But I want you to live with me. St. Germain suddenly draws me close to him and silences me.
I'm so grateful to hear that, but that's an unattainable dream. A ghost thousands of years old met you, and his heart was moved. That's all I can ask for.
St. Germain gently whispers into my ear. I shake my head wearily and resist. There has to be another way. A way we can live together, and you won't have to sacrifice yourself. We both want each other to be happy. It's not fair that one of us can't be. Our happiness only works if we're in it together. That's why...
You're wrong, Miss Cardia.
He deflects my weak plea and begins speaking clearly.
For you to be alive and smiling in this world, that is my happiness. For that, I will sacrifice my life as many times as I have to.
He places his finger gently against my neck. For a moment, a puff of white smoke rises, up as his glove melts. I feel a slight pain in my neck. It feels like a piece of metal scratches against my skin, and there is a moment of delicate pain. Ah! Suddenly, my body grows weak. I slump down, as if a string holding me up has been cut. No matter how hard I try to move my body, I cannot move it at all.
You tricked me.
Well, what did you do?
I had an anesthetic needle in my glove. Don't worry, you'll be able to move again in no time.
St. Germain really does intend to die. My heart is certain of this, and yet I'm unable to change his mind. Tears overflow from my eyes and stream down my face. My mouth is numb, and my lips won't move. I can't speak. All I can do is stare at St. Germain.
It may sound strange.
He smiles as he looks at me.
Now finally, I feel like I'm truly alive. It's all you're doing. Thank you, Miss Cardia.
St. Germain says this quietly, and after stroking my hair for a moment, he turns his attention back to me.
And goodbye.
I watch him disappear into the darkness. I want to run after him, to scream, "Don't go!" But my arms and legs, nothing moves. All I can do is look on as St. Germain walks away. In a corner of a forest, with the sunlight pouring through the leaves, the sound of birdsong can be heard. There is the peaceful sound of rustling leaves. Oh, that's a really pretty house. A comfortable wind causes the trees to sway. Amid this fairy tale-esque scene, there stands a small wooden house, quietly secluded from anywhere else. In this place that seems like it had been left behind in time, Omnibus sits in her wheelchair, as she does every day. Oh! The sound of clashing metal footsteps reaches her ears. Omnibus lazily raises her eyes at this sound, which seems so unfitting here. One of the Idea Apostles stands before her. It's the tragic queen in her massive suit of armor, Guinevere. Welcome home, Guinevere. Sorry to call you so suddenly. I would come to you whenever you are in need. And what can I do for you today? 2 apostles have been killed. That's all it takes for the 2 of them to understand what happened. Is St. Germain serious? Is he seriously trying to rebel against Idea, against you? I'm sure that he's serious. I've already taken away his immortality. He will have some lingering powers for a while, but they should be growing weaker by the day. Which means he doesn't have much time left. Guinevere lowers her beautiful face and whispers, as if something is bothering her. What a fool. He is a fool, to be sure, but he means to defeat us all, even at the cost of his own life. The 12 apostles of Idea and myself, all on his own. I'll admit that his abilities are among the top 3 of the apostles. But even with his strength, it would be impossible to defeat us all. It's ridiculous. Guinevere lets out a small sigh in reaction to the reckless actions of her former comrade. Omnibus, however, merely looks up at the sky with a quiet expression. I wouldn't say that it's completely impossible. What do you mean? For the first time since he became an apostle, he is fighting for himself. He is not on a mission for some nameless, faceless entity. He's fighting for himself, not for the one he loves. I'm sure he's desperate. His desperation may even match yours, my strongest apostle. I know better than anyone the strength that fighting for a loved one can give you, and that at times it can lead to tragedy. Guinevere shuts her eyes tightly and clenches her hands into fists. Then she grasps the grip of her huge sword with a clang and turns around. There is no greater misfortune than to love someone that you shouldn't. I shall cut down St. Germain's mistake. Chapter 13. Promise. In the past, I committed a crime. I wasn't able to love the one I was meant to love, and loved another who I was forbidden from loving. That was my crime. My name is Guinevere. I was the wife of King Arthur, who led the Knights of the Round Table, and is hailed as a hero in the legends of Britannia. My husband was a great king, worthy of his title of hero, who was celebrated as the greatest of leaders, an ideal king. Of course, as an ideal king's wife, I was expected to be the ideal queen. I never once considered it a burden. I had to support him, standing by his side as he ruled a nation, living alongside him for as long as we both lived. I stayed with Arthur, believing that would be my life. However, thinking back, perhaps the emotion that I felt for him was not love. Arthur was too perfect and noble to be engaged in an ordinary romantic relationship. I think what I felt towards him was not love, but respect and adoration. And that's why I was foolishly attracted to a man who was not my husband. One of the knights of the Round Table, the most loyal to the king, Sir Lancelot, the Knight of the Lake. I fell in love with him, and, unfortunately, his heart was drawn to mine as well. Our love, our deviation, was what brought about the war that split the land and the Round Table. Ultimately, our love, it destroyed the nation. In the ensuing war, I lost the husband I should have loved, Arthur, and the man I did love, Lancelot, became the target of many people. In that sense, St Germain and I are similar. We both failed to accomplish something that we should have, and lost so much as a result of it. Maybe that's why we were destined to meet. I had thrown myself off a cliff, out of the guilt over the crime I had committed. The man appeared before me as I lay dying.
Would you like me to save you?
He wouldn't tell me his name. When I asked, he laughed, saying that names have little meaning.
If you need something, call me. I suppose you could say I'm a messenger of fate.
Fate? Are you an angel or the devil?
I am human. Sadly, merely a human. Queen Guinevere, you have been selected by Omnibus to become a member of Idea, to become a vessel containing the curse of immortality.
Immortality? I had no interest in such things. My husband was dead, my nation in ruins, and Lancelot had left me. What was the point in living in such a world? I am tired of it all. I just want to die. The man doesn't seem surprised at all, and nods in response.
How do these terms sound to you? If you agree to devote yourself to the goal of leading people through history for all time, you shall be granted one wish.
I have no interest in eternal life. If I get one wish, I wish for the restoration of honor to the knight who lost his for my sake. Lancelot committed no crime. It is not a crime to love the wife of your master.
Well, maybe not, but it is to actually act on it.
If any blame is to be cast, then it should be on me for responding to that love. That is how I came to be an apostle of Idea. Omnibus's goal, to lead humanity down the correct path of history. I believed that this would be atonement for having stepped off the path of righteousness. I was given the curse of immortality, and a cursed item to bring out my strength. A cursed suit of armor, which is only ironic after what I did to destroy the Knights of the Round Table. Wearing this, I continued to carry out Omnibus's missions as a member of Idea. When I am engaged on a mission for the sake of history, that is the only time my heart is relieved of the guilt that burdens me so. There is no use in thinking about the past now, as I'll never get back what I have lost. I can never make another mistake again. Isaac's cursed daughter, Cardia. I'm reminded of when St Germain fought me in that subterranean hallway. He tried to protect her, and she in return had tried to protect him. For some reason, my sword hesitated. Why? I shake my head to clear the memory from my mind. Whenever humanity deviates from its intended path, the result is always a great disaster. My task is to kill that girl who could potentially be the key to another such calamity, even if the girl herself is innocent of any crime. He should be here soon. The sound of approaching footsteps stops. I look towards the sound and smile at the figure before me. You're late. I've been waiting a while. The man standing there, is none other than the very one who led me to Idea, a great criminal and supreme traitor who has already slaughtered 4 ideal apostles. St Germain.
She stands there in the forest, as if she had been waiting for me all this time. The strongest of the 13 apostles that make up the forces of Idea. The tragic queen, Guinevere.
I've been told you have already killed 4 other apostles before arriving here.
Yes, it was a necessity.
I'm amazed. So many apostles in only a few days. How many thousands of lives have you taken with that sword?
You must be joking. They were already dead, just like us. Life was something they never had.
Yes, that's right. Our lives ended long ago. Don't you find it funny that the dead guide the living through history?
I was hoping to catch her off guard, but she is looking right at me.
And is it my turn now?
Yes, you are far stronger than any of the other apostles. Which means, as long as I can defeat you, she won't be in as much danger anymore. And that's why I must defeat you before this broken body of mine ceases functioning. I smile lightly and step forward, but Guinevere narrows her eyes.
Are you aware of what you're doing right now? Even if you go on and kill all the apostles, there will be no escaping death for you. You won't even have time to celebrate your victory.
True enough, this victory was never meant for me anyway. And, for we apostles of Idea, death is a welcome deliverance, is it not?
You're right, it is.
We smile at each other, sardonically. We laugh bitterly for a moment, the hollow laughter of 2 immortals. Then Guinevere shakes her head.
I can't believe that you, the most loyal of them all, have tainted your hands with a betrayal as severe as this.
The only difference is, I'm not fighting for the world's future, but hers.
You've changed.
Perhaps. I smile at Guinevere. She looks at me expressionless.
Loving someone you shouldn't only brings about misfortune.
It's not up to you to decide whether I should love her or not. Was my response unsatisfactory?
No, I just envy you. I envy you for being able to change.
She slowly puts her helmet on, as if doing so would shield her from her own emotions. I can clearly tell that her entire body is charged with power.
Aren't you exhausted from your battles with the other apostles? St. Germain, how many more lives do you have left?
Who knows? Why don't you see for yourself? Although, I'll kill you before you can find out.
It seems we have a long battle ahead of us.
With those words, they both take up their weapons, with the full intention of battling to the death. And a protracted fight begins.
Several days before this battle began, after my encounter with St. Germain at the Tower Bridge, I still can't move after being drugged, so I lean against the handrail of the bridge. All I can do is watch in frustration as the sun rises. By the time I'm finally able to move again, the sun has already pulled itself up from the horizon. Morning has arrived. St. Germain, where are you? I run through the street, where people have begun to emerge, and call his name. People give me odd looks, but I don't care. Where are you? I cling to a sliver of hope that St. Germain may be nearby, and I run and run, calling out to him until I am hoarse. But really, I know more than anyone that he wouldn't be here. St. Germain. My legs are tired, and my voice weakens and trails off. St. Germain is gone. He left me and went off to fight alone. Why? He said that my smile is what made me happy.
Do they mean him made him happy?
He said that he would give his life to protect it. But giving your life won't make me happy at all. There is no way I can smile when you're not here. I fall to my knees and begin to sob. What can I possibly do to save him? After a while, I stagger back to where we are staying, where Lupin and the others welcome me, but are surprised that I'd left. It seems they'd just realized that I was missing, and were about to go out into the city to look for me. They all seem relieved to see me in one piece, but they are a bit upset that I took action alone.
Who knew you were this stupid? I thought you would have learned your lesson about going off on your own. And now this.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure you had a good reason. Either way, can you tell us what happened?
I nod and begin to tell them one thing at a time. I told them about Omnibus and how she spoke to me about the organization called Idea. I told them about St. Germain's true identity. It was no coincidence that all of us had been bought together, but that the Count had set us up so that we would meet.
What? Huh? St. Germain planned for us all to meet? No way! That actually makes sense to me. This century's greatest thief, a war hero, a genius engineer, the heir to the vampire throne, and most of all, Isaac Beckford's daughter, carrier of the Horologium. There's no way this group could come together naturally. It's all too outlandish to be coincidence. It all makes sense when you think that the Count was pulling the strings all along, I suppose.
I nod at Van Helsing's words, then Victor asks me to continue my story. Omnibus told me that I had to go to the Tower Bridge alone if I ever wanted to see St. Germain again. I met St. Germain there, and we exchanged some words. Then St. Germain decided to turn against Idea to protect me. As a traitor, St. Germain's immortality would be taken away from him. And in the little time that he had left before his demise, he has gone off to fight the rest of Idea's apostles by himself. As I tell them these details, they all remain silent. Van Helsing is the first to speak up once I am done.
Now we're all up to speed. It's a lot to think about, but before we give you our opinions, I want to hear what you think about all this. Cardia, what are you going to do?
I take a deep breath and look around at the others. As they stare at me, I press one hand against my chest and speak. If I just sit here and wait in silence, there is a chance that St. Germain will end it all for me. Idea's apostles may be destroyed, and I may no longer be threatened, but St. Germain will definitely die. I clench my fists so tight that my nails dig into my palms. I don't want the memory of his face, that last smile he showed me, to fade away and be lost forever. I can't accept that. There is no way I can accept that.
Do you have a plan?
It's not much, but I'm thinking of meeting directly with Omnibus to talk with her about saving St. Germain. Everyone looks at me with wide eyes. Simply stopping St. Germain will still lead to his eventual demise. If I can hope for any good outcome, this is the only way there is.
Hold on a second. You make it sound so easy, but is it even possible to negotiate with her? Isn't she like the leader of an organization that's been manipulating the world behind the scenes or something? It'll probably be more difficult than speaking with Victoria.
Yes, if I was on my own, I probably wouldn't even be able to reach Omnibus. That's why I know it's a lot to ask, but I need your help. Can you please help me save St. Germain? Please. There is a brief silence. It seems like they are all on the fence about it.
No way.
I look up at him in surprise at this unexpected rejection from him. Lupin had been quiet all this time, but now he's looking at me suspiciously. Lupin.
Lupin? Are you serious? She really needs our help. It would be ungentlemanly to refuse. I can't help someone who doesn't trust her friends.
Lupin walks towards me with a stern expression. He stops right in front of me and stares into my eyes.
Cardia, why didn't you just tell us everything yesterday?
That's because Omnibus told me not to.
I know that. I know she has some strange powers. Even if you couldn't tell us straight out, if you'd have thought logically, you would have found some other way to communicate.
If the others had been with me back there, if they'd been with me, I might have been able to stop St. Germain. I hang my head in shame at this realization. I'm sorry.
St. Germain's not the only one who cares about you. We all do. That's why, if you consider us your friends, you've got to tell us these things.
Yes. I nod, then Lupin takes a deep breath and laughs, lightening up.
I mean, the only one who's really to blame here is St. Germain, who didn't tell us anything. When this is all over, I'm going to punch him. That'll make things even.
I suppose. Lupin's consideration is heartwarming. I do my best to smile, then Victor and the others sigh in relief.
I guess it's settled. I'd like to have a word with the Count as well. You have my support. I'm helping too, obviously. What about you and B? Never doubt it. I'll do anything my princess wants.
I was about to make a big mistake. I'm not the only one worried about St. Germain. Everyone is just as concerned about him. Thank you, guys. A warm emotion swells up inside my empty heart.
First things first. I guess we'll begin tracking Omnibus's location.
Okay, actually here we're going to end the video. I had a few interruptions during recording, so I'm not sure how long this is exactly once I cut out all the interruptions. But hopefully it's adequate for an episode. Well, anyway, I hope to see you in my future videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.